Good evening and welcome back to Saturday Night Match of the Day, in which we bring you the best of the action plus all the news from the fourth round of the FA Cup. First, Manchester United against Coventry City.
And there's a posse of players gone to the far side. White side!
That's followed by Wimbledon against Portsmouth.
Mariner, good play by Portsmouth, and Hardiman's arriving.
And finally, Bradford City versus Everton.
On by Ormonroyd, Hendry.
Cup shocks in both England and Scotland today. The honours in the FA Cup going to 3rd Division Wigan, 1-0 winners against Norwich of the first, and 3rd Division Walsall, who beat their 2nd Division neighbours Birmingham by the same scoreline. The biggest upset north of the border sees Hamilton, bottom of the Premier Division, knock out mighty Rangers 1-0 at Ibrox. Also, Gary Lineker in sensational scoring form for Barcelona as they beat Real Madrid 3-2.
We start the action at Old Trafford, where a 50,000 crowd, with Coventry well represented, saw a game on a surface that would not have passed the least stringent plastic test. But it was deemed fitting for 90 minutes flat-out cup-tie football, and that's what emerged. Your commentator, Tony Gubber.
Football's oldest cliché has never been truer, because this will be a game of two very different halves. On the far side, where the sun falls, the ground is soft enough to take a small stud. But on the other half, where United's electric undersoil heating has failed yet again to cope with overnight temperatures that fell to -7, it's crisp with frost and quite hard. And with the ground temperature just above freezing, it's meant a very tricky problem of boot selection for the players. Manchester United field the same 11 that ended Arsenal's unbeaten run here at Old Trafford last week. Terry Gibson again preferred to Peter Davenport, and Colin Gibson not yet fit enough to return after injury. Coventry make one change from the team beaten 3-1 at home by West Ham last Saturday. Nick Pickering returns after a knee injury, and so Mickey Ginn is one of the two substitutes. The referee today, Ray Lewis of Great Bookham at Old Trafford for the first time, as United kick off attacking the goal to the left. And no doubt recalling that on the two occasions since the war that they've met Coventry in the FA Cup, they've beaten them, and on each occasion have gone on to lift the trophy at Wembley. Nick Pickering back after the knee injury. United's throw. Olsen. Severbeck knocks it forward. Well, Terry Gibson's there. And forward to Whiteside. Well, it's a good idea in these conditions, perhaps. Norman Whiteside got the winning goal against Manchester City in the 3rd round to shoot on sight, because the keeper's two will certainly find their position of the feet most important. Grzovic's kick fails to get within 5 yards of the halfway line. Upfield by Peake. Push by McGrath and Whiteside. Quickly taken. Whiteside, Olsen. Blackmore. Another obstruction, this time Emerson penalised. Salford-born and the former Stretford ender gives Manchester United this free kick in a most interesting position. Strachan's on the ball, Severbeck's with him as well, and there's a posse of players gone to the far side. Whiteside! First real effort of the match from Norman Whiteside. Forcing the big man, Steve Grzovich, the tallest goalkeeper in the Football League at 6'3", to make a save on his goal line. Emerson came off Blackmore, so it'll be Coventry's throw. Greg Downs recently got on the score sheet for Coventry. Oh, a good throw. Well, there's some hard looks in that Manchester United defence as Pickering found himself with a clear sight of Turner in goal. No real direction on the shot, but Turner and the back line in Manchester United's defence were shouting at each other then. Gibson to Olsen. Long ball out to Strachan. Lovely ball from Terry Gibson. Steve Beck sprinting in support on the outside. He's cut him out. Olsen, good control. Gibson. Well, despite the conditions, some neat football from Manchester United, Olsen in particular, and also Terry Gibson. And Igrizovic has to make his second save in the opening few minutes. Gibson jumping high again, beaten by Peake. Blackmore. And now Greg Downs. Again, Coventry playing that long ball from the back to try and find Regis, who's haunted by Kevin Moran at the moment. And there's no offence. Kevin Moran gets a round of applause. With the throw. Regis can't quite make himself the space. Downs. Phillips for Houchen. Oh, it might fall for the Coventry man. It's in. 20 minutes gone, and Coventry take the lead through Keith Houchen, the man whose penalty for York City defeated Arsenal in the 4th round of the FA Cup 2 seasons ago. Well, Regis battling for space on that far side. It was Downs who finally knocked the ball in, then it fell to Phillips, and finally to Houchen, and with Turner on the floor, Coventry finally forced it into the roof of the net. And now what can Manchester United do? Because if they lose here, their season is over. Coventry really are a different side from the one of a few seasons ago that was constantly battling to avoid relegation. Much sterner, a much fiercer proposition. Martin and Duxbury. Oh, well, Peake's foot certainly looked a little high. Terry Gibson is making Norman Whiteside aware of his feelings. Whiteside's taking the free kick. Olsen! It's in by Gibson, but the linesman on this side has signalled that the ball was out of play. No doubt in the linesman's mind. I think the flag went up before the ball was actually in the back of the net. Well, Terry Gibson isn't too happy, but it doesn't count. The opening coming as a result of the free kick taken quickly by Whiteside to Olsen, whose control in the penalty area was first class, but the ball went over the line before it came back, and Gibson forced it in. Whiteside came off Olsen. Silverbeck. Olsen. Well, that might fall for Coventry. He's got McGrath in the middle. It'll be a foul against Lloyd McGrath, as Turner was about to take the kick. And the 45 minutes of the first half have been played. First half ends with Coventry still ahead by that Houchen goal. A goal that owed much to a lucky bounce and perhaps the condition of the pitch, but it's certainly given Manchester United food for thought. So at half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Coventry 1. And for manager Alex Ferguson, who's had plenty of experience of winning the Scottish Cup with Aberdeen, and who made the headlines in the North today by saying that he felt this was the season United would go back to Wembley. Well, one wonders what his thoughts are at half-time as he tries to get United back from that one-goal deficit. And as Coventry start the second half, we wonder if Manchester United's season has only another 45 minutes to run, because exit from the FA Cup will certainly be seen as that. Emerson penalised in the first few seconds of this second half. And there's only one way for Manchester United now in this second half, and that's forward. Olsen put free by Whiteside. Olsen looks down at the pitch after a desperately poor cross. United's last two home games have attracted attendances of over 50,000. Today's just a little below that, 49,082. Forward for Whiteside. Handball, says Whiteside. Severbeck again. Oh, he's shown too much of that to Emerson. And now, Ouchen. He's got Pickering on the left. Pickering, can Coventry make it two? Good start by Turner. A spell of pressure by Manchester United. Coventry breaking quickly with a fortunate bounce on the pitch and close to making it two. McGrath to Regis. Emerson. Whiteside. Forward for Stapleton. Gibson, he's held back by Peake. And the referee saw that. Little Terry Gibson. The ball broke kindly for him. Kilcline and Peake were the two Coventry defenders. And Peake holding back little Terry Gibson when the little man seemed to have got round him. Just outside the penalty area. Now, who takes this one? Severbeck leaves it. Olsen. Spectacular overhead clearance by Phillips. Well, if Manchester United do make a substitution, and it appears that they are, it's the big man they're bringing off, Frank Stapleton. To be replaced by United's top scorer this season, Peter Davenport, with 11 goals to his credit. And I think the message there is that United will feel Gibson's having a better match on this surface than perhaps Stapleton was. Severbeck there just before Regis, and Coventry have a corner. Well, the difference in FA Cup pedigree between these two teams is quite extraordinary. Coventry have never got past the last 8 in this competition, which of course has been won by Manchester United 6 times, twice in the last 4 years. Emerson with the corner. Now the cross. Phillips got there first. Wilson. It'll be United's throw. Again, Peake doing an important job. So often Trevor Peake the last line of defence for Coventry. Severbeck just downs in front of him. And there's 4 forward for United. Gets in a good cross. Oh, good play. Whiteside. Appealing to the linesman. A lovely deep cross by Severbeck, finding Norman Whiteside at the far post, who might have done a little bit better with that header. Perhaps will feel that he could have buried it from there. And chances have been few and far between in this match for Manchester United. Manchester United get another free kick. This time Phillips, the offender. And the message from Manchester United is to get the ball into Coventry's penalty area. They've certainly got plenty of players in there. There are 6 and a 7th has arrived. Severbeck. Whiteside to Gibson. Davenport. Grizovic has dropped it. Still Gibson. Might have done better to try and lay it back to Paul McGrath, who was in support. Well, he got a goal towards the end of the match here last week against Arsenal, Terry Gibson. His first for Manchester United. Peter Davenport, who's down injured. And Coventry already beginning to celebrate what they would see as a famous victory. Ferguson just scratching the back of his head, wondering, I'm sure, what's gone wrong here. Having been so confident this morning that this could be United's season to get to Wembley. Only seconds now remaining for Manchester United to try and force home an equaliser, and that is what it would be, because Coventry have defended so well. Davenport, Gibson, Phil Klein happy to clear it. Severbeck. And the 90 minutes have been played. We're into stoppage time as Downs puts it out. So Manchester United, is this perhaps the last throw of the dice? Strachan, Severbeck. Whiteside who went in. And we're into time that referee Ray Lewis has added on for stoppages. And Manchester United's season is all but over, because there'll be no trophies left to win after this. Even the ball boys are frantic to get the game underway. Whiteside, Strachan knocks it forward. Away by Burrows. It'll be a Manchester United throw. Olsen. Strachan, and the whistle is gone, and Coventry have put Manchester United out of the FA Cup. But Alec Ferguson, well, disappointment for him and for the Old Trafford fans. But what a crucial goal by Keith Houchin, who did it 2 seasons ago with a penalty against Arsenal to put them out in the 4th round, and now doing it for Coventry to put Manchester United out, beaten here at home, 1-0.
Well, having seen Coventry hold Arsenal at Highbury, perhaps we shouldn't have been so shocked by that result. Our congratulations to them. But it took a goal from a cup tie specialist, Keith Houchin, to clinch it for them.
Do you save it up for the cup?
Starting to look like that a little bit, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I must have come out nice today.
The difference is that when you got the penalty against Arsenal a couple of years ago, it was the end of the match. Here, Coventry had to hold on for 70 minutes.
We had to battle today, yeah. I mean, it was a scrappy. I'm not saying it was the best goal I've ever scored or anything like that, but it was a long time to the end.
You are taking credit for it, are you? Because, I mean, the pitch seemed to play its part as well.
I can't remember how many touches I had. It kept coming back off people and I kept stabbing at it. But I've got legs that are 6 foot long, you see, so I got the last touch with it in the end.
Downs. Phillips for Houchin. Oh, it might fall for the Coventry man. It's in! What about you yourself, though? Because you've actually been struggling to get into the team, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had a funny old season, iffy season. I mean, I had a lot of injuries at the start of the season, and I've started to sort of play a couple of games now, miss a couple of games, play a couple of games. So, you know, hopefully I can start to get a little bit of form together now and get cracking, you know.
And are Coventry going to have a cup run?
It's
a long time since they have.
We're having one. We've won today, that's the main thing. We're in the hat for next week.
Well, a most modest reaction to a goal that, but if we take a quick look again, I think you'll agree it took some determination by that man. The cross came over, there's a dummy first which gives him the chance, but it was 3 challenges. The first one there, he wins well, sticking a foot in. The second one, you'll see, gets a bit of luck, the ball hits his back foot, he gets there first from the keeper, that's good control with the header, and finally in against Norman Whiteside. Quite an achievement, quite a goal.
Manchester United, the biggest name to fall today, but the real giant killing came from 3rd Division Wigan, 1-0 winners against 1st Division Norwich. Paul Jewell's goal, 12 minutes from time, made Wigan history. They're in the 5th round for the first time. Another third division side, Walsall, provided the other upset. A goal by Paul Jones with only 8 minutes to go knocked out their Midlands neighbours Birmingham City of the second division. Still another third division club, Chester, gave first division Sheffield Wednesday a fright. John Kelly put them ahead after just 7 minutes, and Wednesday were glad to earn a replay when Lee Chapman equalised directly after half-time. Also heading for a replay, 4th Division Aldershot, conquerors of Oxford in the last round. They drew 1-1 with Barnsley. Martin Foyle celebrating the birth of his daughter yesterday with Aldershot's goal after 52 minutes before Steve Agnew equalised 15 minutes later. In another of today's drawn ties, the battle of the plastic pitch experts at Luton, there were 2 penalties in the last 10 minutes. Terry Fenwick put QPR ahead, and there were only 2 minutes left when Mick Harford saved Luton and set up Wednesday's replay. And this is how the cup ties look this coming week. Tomorrow, Watford meet Chelsea. Tuesday, Swansea City v Hull City. Swindon versus Leeds, which is postponed from tomorrow. Still Tuesday, a replay, Barnsley versus Aldershot. And on Wednesday, 2 more replays, QPR v Luton and Sheffield Wednesday versus Chester. More cup news after our next game.
Well, now it's the turn of Wimbledon and Portsmouth to compete, and that's hardly a strong enough word, judging by the pre-match approach from both camps. The prize, a place in the 5th round of the FA Cup. John Watson was there to see fair play.
John Fashanu typifies the aggressive streak which runs through these two teams. He made his Wimbledon debut as sub at Portsmouth last season and now seems certain to test them physically again. The Dons have been to Portugal for a 5-day break, and their team is the one which finished against Manchester City a week ago. The average age has come down while the club's fortunes have gone up, and their 2 long-serving players, Alan Cork and Wally Downs, are the substitutes. Portsmouth welcome back Paul Hardiman at fullback. Number 10, Kevin Ball, no relation to the manager, may also have a defensive role, and an injury to Mick Kennedy brings in Mick Tate to stiffen a 5-man midfield. So, in the enforced absence of jail top scorer Mick Quinn, there's a Lone Ranger role up front for Paul Mariner, an FA Cup winner with Ipswich 9 years ago. Referee Ian Hemley of Amt Hill gets the match started on a pitch which is softening up now in the sunshine after a heavy overnight frost. Portsmouth in their change strip of all white. And they brought plenty of fans with them to Plough Lane. Well, any view is a good view on Cup Day. Fashanu. Fairweather. Away by Tate. Oh, and a mistake, and here's Fashanu. Noel Blake relieved. That was a bad error, and it gave John Fashanu the first chance of the afternoon, which he put wide. Hilaire. Tate. This is Swain. Mariner. Good play by Portsmouth. And Hardiman's arriving, forcing Besant to make an anxious save. And Wimbledon on the counter-attack here with Sanchez to Fashanu. Well, who would have thought the left-back would have cropped up there? Paul Hardiman saw his chance. This is Thorne for Wimbledon. Fairweather. Short that from Billy Gilbert. Hodges is there. In by Kay. Here's the goalkeeper challenging Fashanu, and Sayer surely. Well, Fashanu. What a strange goal. Fashanu will claim it. But I thought they were going to make a mess of it, Wimbledon. Certainly the Portsmouth defence did. They're arguing with each other even now. Alan Knight came and completely missed it. Fashanu helped it on. Sayer should surely have scored, but it ran along the line, and Fashanu just poked it in the 13th minute. Wimbledon take the lead. All rather untidy, but they all count. And Portsmouth's problem started when the cross came in. Let's put the home fans inside Plough Lane in good heart. Forward by Hodges. That's ball. Jones with the throw. Fairweather's in there. Header by Blake. That was a dangerous one. Swain got it half away. It's Hodges again. Chipped in. Oh, it's an own goal! Blake! Well, the corner was half cleared. It went back to Hodges. He recrossed it, and Noel Blake fired that into his own net. And it's put Portsmouth 2 goals behind after only 20 minutes. Crosses are the name of the game with Wimbledon, and 2 have paid off already here this afternoon. Portsmouth in a lot of difficulty now. That's Fairweather. Winterburn. Fairweather again. Fairweather. Another good cross. Oh, and danger again, and unlucky. Vinnie Jones arriving on the end of that one, and Alan Knight in the right place to collect it, but it could have been 3. They're firing the crosses in, and Portsmouth don't know how to cope. This is Fashanu. Accelerating away from Hardiman and Blake. He's got Sayer in the middle, and so's Fairweather now, and there's Sayer. Might have pulled that back, he will now, but the best chance is gone. Winterburn. Hodges. Sayer, 3-0. Andy Sayer, the scorer. Well, Wimbledon had threatened to score in their previous attack, and Sayer, in fact, had played a poor ball then, but he certainly made up for it this time. Winterburn and Hodges developed the play down the left. The low cross came in. Portsmouth again, culpable in defence, and Sayer scored with a low shot. So Portsmouth, the latest victims of the direct style of football which Wimbledon favour. They play percentages when it comes to getting crosses in, and my word, how it pays off, with 3 goals. The first, a rather untidy one by Fashanu. The second, a panicky own goal by Blake. The third, just before half-time, from Andy Sayer. Wimbledon aiming here to reach the 5th round for only the 2nd time in their history. First occasion was 2 years ago. When you bear in mind that 10 years ago, in January 1977, they were still in the Southern League. It takes some believing what's been achieved down here at Plough Lane. Hodges coming in with Hardiman. There's Sayer, away by Blake. This is Mariner. Now it's Hodges for Wimbledon. Lofting it across towards Fairweather. That was a useful pass. Winterburn's made a forward run. Hilaire the tackle with one. Gale with Mariner, that's a foul. There's a break for O'Callaghan. They've got Mariner in the centre and Hilaire. Here's Mariner. That was an old Ipswich move in a way, the two former Portman Road favourites. Kevin O'Callaghan on the left wing, crossing for Paul Mariner to drive over the bar. Sayer is chasing. Fashanu is there. So is Jones. Okay, offside. So Paul Mariner is going off for Portsmouth. And his replacement is Kevin Russell, the former England youth international who came to Portsmouth from Brighton. Swain, Fashanu. Well, now there have been in the last couple of minutes 2 high challenges. Winterburn with the free kick. And Jones is going to get himself into trouble here. He left his foot there on Kevin Dillon, and he's already been booked. And that was rather silly on the part of the Wimbledon number 4. And for the first time, the match threatens to reach the touchy point on the thermometer that many people predicted. And that's the last warning, surely, for Vinnie Jones. Thorne, then Sanchez, Jones, and now he's been flattened. And Sanchez a little too strong on O'Callaghan, and this is going to be the most difficult part of the afternoon for the referee. Jones is being brought away from the incident by Sanchez, and tempers are rising. It's revolving mostly around the Wimbledon number 4. Dillon with the kick, and offside. The news of Paul Mariner is that he has a groin strain. Free kick, Blake on Fashanu. Really got to keep his head here, the lad who came from non-league football. And Fashanu's closing in here for Wimbledon! Number 4. Portsmouth absolutely demoralised now, and John Fashanu gets his second. Timed his run perfectly coming in on the free kick. And there was never any question as to where that header was going. 61 minutes, and the second division leaders look as though they're going to be in for a thrashing here. Dillon. Offside. And it should be said again that all the difficulty for the Portsmouth defence has come from crosses of one sort or another. Now Wimbledon are going to make a sensible substitution here, and I have to say that Dave Bassett is doing the right thing, because Vince Jones has just got a little bit over the top the last few minutes. He's been booked, and he's gone off and allowed Wally Downs, whose testimonial year this is, to come on in his place. There was just a danger that Jones was going to get himself involved once more and possibly be sent off. And anyway, Downs is an experienced player who joined Wimbledon in the year that they joined the Football League, 77. That was John Kay. This is Kevin Dillon. Thorne gets back to dispossess him, and look at that. It's a run on here for Fashanu. He's got Sanchez in the middle and two others joining him. And the foul was by Hardiman, just outside the area. Sayer! Well, the referee gave the signal for the kick to be taken, and Portsmouth certainly weren't ready. Sayer was. Stoppage time then. Offside. Callaghan was the player that came through. Free kick to Portsmouth. This is O'Callaghan. Free kick, fouled by Hodges. Is there going to be a consolation here for Portsmouth? Not like that, although Besson did his best to help them. And without their top scorer, Mick Quinn, Portsmouth never looked like the side that are leading the second division. They were sentenced to a 4-goal defeat by a Wimbledon team who now equal the club's best ever performance in the FA Cup by reaching the 5th round. Wimbledon emphatic and thorough in everything they did. Well, could the Wombles go to Wembley? It's just a thought.
Well, you never know. We've got to the 5th round. We've never been beyond there. So it's a target for us to get in the 6th round. We'll probably be the first team to go to Wembley, and there'll be only half the stadium full.
Not so happy, Portsmouth manager Alan Ball, who described his side's defeat as the most embarrassing 90 minutes I have ever spent as player or manager. I'm ashamed of my players. When people don't compete, it's the biggest sin of all time. Across the city, 10 goals from the North London rivals. Cup favourites Arsenal beat Plymouth 6-1, fullback Viv Anderson scoring 2 of the goals. And that man, Clive Allen, took his total for the season to 30 with a 3rd goal, a penalty, as Tottenham crushed Crystal Palace 4-0. Glenn Roeder and Paul Goddard got the goals which took Newcastle through 2-0 against Preston, while Stoke came from behind to knock out 4th Division Cardiff 2-1, Phil Heath getting the winner 20 minutes from the end. In the 2 games left over from the 3rd round, Hull won 2-1 at Shrewsbury. Frank Bunn got the all-important 2nd goal. And in the EastEnders replay, 40-year-old Billy Bonds was West Ham's inspiration. Coming on as substitute with 17 minutes to go and the score 1-1 against 4th Division Orient, his arrival sparked a 3-goal finish with Tony Cottee making it 4-1 with his 25th goal of the season. You ever heard of Adrian Sprott? You haven't? Well, Rangers certainly have. He's the man who caused the day's biggest shock as the top clubs entered the Scottish Cup. Hamilton, bottom of the Premier Division, went to Ibrox and they humbled Graham Souness's multi-million-pound Rangers 1-0 with left-back Sprott the scorer. The other upset, Peterhead from the Highland League, 2-0 winners at home to First Division Clyde, which puts Peterhead in the 4th round for the first time. Action now from that Scottish Cup. Hibernian of the Premier Division at home to First Division leaders Dunfermline, commentator Archie McPherson.
Making weird, he's done it! Good shot, Kane tries to lob the goalkeeper and has 2-0.
Now Pools news. There were 14 score draws on today's coupons and 5 no-score draws. No claims are needed, dividends will be low. The score draw numbers are 6, 9, 12, 13, 24, 26, 27, 34, 38, 39, 40, 49, 50 and 51. The no-score draws 14, 29, 36, 41 and 53. Finally, amazing news just in from Spain. The one they've billed as match of the season, Barcelona against Real Madrid, finished 3-2 to Terry Venables' Barcelona, and 115,000 fans saw Gary Lineker score a hat-trick.
Well, our final match comes from Yorkshire, where Bradford City, back to Valley Parade, take on the mammoth task of stopping Everton becoming the first club in the FA Cup to get to Wembley 4 years running. Whatever the outcome, it was just good to be there, as Barry Davis reflected.
To see the smile return to Valley Parade is the happiest sight in football, and the visit of Everton is some reward for the rebuilding of mind and matter. Terry Dolan begins his career as Bradford City's new manager with the men who helped get him the job during 4 games as caretaker. They scored 9 times in the 2 home matches. The side is a young mixture of the homegrown and those who didn't quite make it with other clubs, and is captained by the gifted Stuart McCall, who a little over 2 years ago was picked for the under-21 squads of both England and Scotland. Everton, looking to renew their Wembley season ticket for a 4th consecutive year, have injury problems, but bring in Pat Vanden Hauwe for the first time this season, and Peter Reid starts a game for the first time. George Courtney, who refereed the final back in 1980, all set for a match which really sets the FA Cup apart from any other cup competition. The 42nd side in the league against the 2nd, the chance for an ambitious minnow to unseat the mighty. Bradford attacking the goal to our left. On a cold afternoon, the pitch certainly is playable, though the far right left corner, as we look on the far side, is certainly a little bit hard. And as you can see, we have bright sunshine. It's Gary Stevens. Capacity crowd of 15,519. Heath, Reid, Ormonroyd coming for it, and slightly caught Snowden actually. Ratcliffe having to check because Hendry's behind him. Wilkinson, goalkeeper slipped initially but still had time. Peter Litchfield. Looks like a style of other days. Vanden Hauwe. Everything to his right. Evans who closed the space, and McCall who won the ball. Evans. And the whistle has gone. Watson actually came a bit too soon. And that's a bit of a mess, and McCall ends it. Evans and Hendry. Ball's out of play. Hendry. Nobody filling the hole in the middle at the moment, but Hendry may go alone. And I think that has to go down as the first direct shot on goal in the match. But it was never going to trouble Neville Southall. Stephen. Snowden. Ellis has played his fullback into trouble. Stevens. Good header by Oliver. Power. Brandon Howe, but it'll be collected by McCall. Snowden. Ormond a bit slow to see that he had a chance to collect that. And Ratcliffe called to calm it by the referee, who allows the play to continue. Reid. He's been given very little time, Peter Reid. Ellis. Not sure that Mark Ellis was ever quite sure where he was going. And now there's a hole behind on that side. Reid. And the header was from Evans. First time that Peter Reid's really been able to attack in the final third of the field, and it was a good run in, and all caused by a lack of understanding down the Bradford left, which left them with a hole on that side. Wilkinson. Evans clears again. Heath. Snowden. That's the goalkeepers. Snowden. As half-time beckons, we're just 3 minutes away. Ratcliffe. Reid. Free kick against Palin. Well on by Vanden Hauwe. Power. We've got a man over. Heath. Perhaps the first real chance that Everton have had. And the Bradford City defence somewhat disorganised. And Heath, I would think, will be disappointed in not making them pay for that. And half-time is reached. No goals have been scored. Terry Dolan leading the way to the dressing room. But for the neutral, a cup tie that really had all the ingredients so far doesn't have a great deal of flavour. Having played their home games last season at Leeds, Huddersfield and the Odsal Stadium, which was their home for the first half of this, this is the 5th game back at this rebuilt Valley Parade, which will always have a special place in football. As the sun sinks behind the stand on the far side, the second half gets underway. Reid a growing factor towards the end of the first half in a rather disappointing Everton performance. They've clearly missed the controlling presence of Kevin Sheedy. Ormonroyd had his moments during the first period. Evans. Oliver. Ellis. Snowden. Kendall checking his watch. It's quite a long time to go yet, we should tell him. Everton trying to get back to Wembley for a fourth consecutive year to write their name into the record books. Only won once on the 3 previous visits. But the crowd seem to have woken up a bit this half, and that's a brighter start. Although neither goalkeeper has been tested as yet. Oliver. Hendry. Watson's challenge. Heath. 4 Everton players already in the area. Oh, it's beautifully done. Snowden scores. And the delight is all at that end where the Everton supporters are. Snowden's first goal for Everton coming in the 51st minute. And really a very, very good near-post header. Well, the man the crowd booed throughout the first half simply because of his Leeds connection puts the opposition ahead at Valley Parade. Cries of Wembley from the Everton supporters. On by Ormonroyd, Hendry. But the pace of the game has lifted in the second period. We've had more goal-mouth incident in the opening moments of it and throughout the first 45. Pushing and shoving by Wilkinson. Goddard to take the free kick. Bradford pushing forward and being encouraged to do so from the bench. Ormonroyd. Brandon Howe. Power. Heath making the run in the inside right position. That's a good challenge at full stretch by Clegg. Ellis and Stevens. Hendry in the middle, so is Ormonroyd. That's a good play by Ellis. Out by Ratcliffe. McCall. Palin. Out by Ratcliffe again. Abbott's way over the top. It came down a little bit, but it was always going to go over. But even so, a good spell from Bradford. And I do find it curious that they're getting much more support from the home fans than they did during the first period, when their chances of causing an upset seemed to be greater. Lost twice at Wembley, Everton, but they haven't been beaten on a club ground since the 6th round of the 82-83 competition. Southall comes for it. That's the first mistake he's made, but he had time to recover. Clegg. Palin. McCall was going for the header, which didn't come. Hendry's shot blocked, maybe able to try again. He is, and turned away brilliantly by Gary Stevens. Leonard's head was reaching for it. It's Stevens who picked it away. Feelings of hope grow and then die. Quick check of the watch by Terry Dolan. We make it a minute and a half left. Free kick Everton's way. Right down in front of Terry Dolan. Stevens to take it. No problem for Litchfield. Watson. Offside against Heath. Well, Bradford's is the first name on the FA Cup, which will be disputed at Wembley in May. But their team of 1987 will go no further in this competition, losing by the only goal to Howard Kendall's Everton. The two managers come off together, and the scorer of the only goal was the man that Howard Kendall bought from Leeds, Ian Snowden. It's his first goal for the club, and is the first payment on a huge transfer fee. For those who packed Valley Parade this afternoon, they have moments to remember, but it was a case of nearly, but not quite. Everton, the victors, go through to round 5.
A brave fight indeed by Bradford, who will now be able to concentrate on holding on to a second division place. And judging by today's showing, they have what it takes, but not to beat Everton, classy and cool as always. And if you're looking for more sporting excitement this weekend, I can recommend the Masters Snooker semi-final, which follows this programme, the final at 3 p.m. and 10:50 tomorrow on BBC One. Ski Sunday, the World Championship from Crans-Montana. It's double downhill day. And there's football on Sports Night on Wednesday. Further action from the FA Cup at 10:05 on BBC One. So sadly, as you've seen, Bradford City, Portsmouth and Manchester United go out of the FA Cup this time round. On a more personal and happier note, at Wimbledon this afternoon, Alec Weeks, Match of the Day's original producer, celebrated his retirement after 45 years with the BBC by directing his last match. Our congratulations and good wishes to him, as we note that, like the winner he is, he came up with 4 goals from Plough Lane. Well done, Alec, and from Bob and me, good night to you.
In by Kay, here's the goalkeeper challenging Fashanu, and Sayer surely. Well, Fashanu. What a strange goal. Hodges again. Chipped in. Oh, it's an own goal. Blake. Hodges. Sayer, 3-0. Fashion who's closing in here for Wimbledon.